so it should be a success.
But could the Taliban return?
I don't think so, not anymore. The Taliban are reeling from the operations we've conducted against them. They're low on morale.
The Grenadiers had their headquarters in a military compound on the edge of Sangin. Most of the troops were spread out in small patrol bases around the area. They'd go to the main base for a break.
Yeah, just come in for a couple of hours. We come in a couple of hours every day, just have a little swim and that. Look about, get a bit of time off. A bit of morale for the lads and A&A get in as well. Just a bit of downtime. Bit of fun, wash your clothes, wash yourself. It's like a bath and a swimming pool at the same time.
The Afghan army has a desertion rate of 20% and won't be able to take control of security for years. But a genuine rapport had developed between the Grenadiers and those they were training.
It's a totally different culture with people, but I mean they've got a great sense of humour. I mean they have a right laugh and that. So the same sort of as British lads, they like to have a laugh, which is good. But a totally different culture, yeah. But I've got on well with them. I've got on well with all of them. Yeah, it's been good. Been good experience.
Each Thursday, tribal elders from the area gather for a shura. They were disgruntled, feeling there was too little reconstruction and development. Here, the main crop is opium. Poppy farmers and heroin traffickers make billions of dollars from this illegal trade. Some of this money goes to the Taliban. The challenge is to find alternative income for the farmers. More than 500,000 Afghan families are dependent on poppy cultivation for their livelihoods. Britain alone is spending nearly £300 million over the next 3 years to finance anti-drugs projects. This includes training the Afghan National Police. But progress is slow. Some of those at the meeting had had their opium crop seized and weren't happy.
The governor of Helmand policy is that any significant large amounts of drugs will be confiscated by his counter-narcotics police. He understands that in some compounds there'll be 1 or 2 bags, and those will probably be ignored. But in this case, the counter-narcotics police found out that there was over 0.5 ton of opium in one compound. And they have the drugs in their possession. All inquiries about this, we have been told, must be addressed to the counter-narcotics police in Lashkargah. Now, we have the phone numbers of them. This is a subject matter that is completely out of the control and out of the hands of any one of the people here today.
There's been a lot of talk about 10 new wells are about to be built, rubbish being cleared from the bazaar, and none of which really got much reaction from the locals. But then one of them stood up and said, look, we're not the enemy, but you came and you took loads of our opium belonging to all the local villagers. And someone said, look, it's supposed to be illegal to have large amounts of opium, but you can take it up with the counter-narcotics police, at which point they all stood up and said, give me the number, give me the number. And that's been the strongest reaction, in fact, really the only strong reaction I've seen so far. The man responsible for reconstruction in Helmand province is David Slynn. He's flown into Sangin just for the day to look at the latest project funded by the British taxpayer, the refurbishment of a school for 300 children.
Okay, how many classrooms have you got here?
10 of them actually would be ready for work to be used.
Okay. So then the next question is furniture, books, equipment.
Is this a mixed school or just for boys? Many development projects are being held up because the Taliban threaten and attack contractors working for the Afghan government. Locals are concerned that foreign governments through ISAF, International Security Assistance Force, aren't doing enough.
Probably the hardest thing to do is to gain the support of the locals. They've been living with a lot of Taliban influence in their lives for quite some time. They saw the government appear, they saw ISAF appear, but what they needed to be able to do was to convince themselves that the government and ISAF were going to stay and not suddenly disappear after a few weeks and leave them at the mercy of the Taliban. The people around here have had so much insecurity over so long that they want some form of stability and security in their lives. And we can understand that, and that's why we've got to help the government to impose themselves and to prevail and deliver the services these people need.
Currently in Sangin, in addition to a new school, the British are funding the building of a bridge, the refurbishment of the police headquarters and the governor's office. They're also helping with the electricity supply. This year, we are providing more than £100 million of development assistance to Afghanistan. But the reconstruction programme won't speed up until security improves. There are daily reminders of how long that will take. We were just having a good laugh at the end of dinner, and suddenly the base has come under attack.
What did you get that?
What was that?
Oi! Wait, there's enemy over there, isn't there? We're going to have to protect the back and the front, mate. Right,
Lance Corporal Jack Misen, 20 days before the end of his tour, came under fire again. The Taliban had attacked his patrol base in Sangin.